Good. Brent, thanks again for all the updates throughout the storm. I know those line workers, they're out there in the cold right now. Can you explain what you're talking about and what Teresa was mentioning regarding no financial constraints, the red tape not being there when it comes to money?
Yeah, correct. From the beginning, we've been expanding resources and scaling to meet the needs of the storm, and it's been about scale and the speed at which people can respond. And so we have been expanding those resources. We have contracts with others that we've been adding to our system that weren't normally on our system. So of course we started with those that could get here quick and already had a contract and been expanding that. And so no restraint on making sure we are getting people here and doing that well. The only concern we have is to make sure we're doing it safely. So when our crews are out working, we want to make sure the crews can get here and work safely. Just having them here, we want to make sure they are able to work safely on the system and not get anybody hurt. The main thing we want is customer safety and those worker safety.
Definitely. And part of the worker safety, when it's a crew from outside of your realm, you were saying an NES employee needs to sort of be there due to the complexity of the system?
Yeah, so oftentimes in a storm like this, we have an assessment or lead person to make sure there's communication back to the central command to make sure that we know just where they're at. They're letting crews be up in a spot that even assumed to be de-energized. We have to open and have visible grounding and also a communication back to our control room. And so making sure we're keeping people safe, we're expanding all of those resources to be able to do even more of that. That's where TVA has come in to help expand our resources and make sure that communication back is able to be done without slowing down the work.
And it's not just people on social media, but people have told us in person about, concerns with the preparation and maybe staff numbers ahead of this storm due to the, historic forecasting of it. Where do you guys stand there? Do you feel you could have beefed staff numbers up more ahead of everything?
As the storm was coming in across the region, we were all preparing for this monumental event. All of us were holding on to the resources we had. We had up to 200 crews ready that were able to respond Saturday. We were also talking to our peers across the region about where it might hit, knowing that there could be other areas that it would land. We know that a day and a half ahead, it looked like it was headed to Memphis. Quickly, Saturday night into Sunday, once Memphis knew that wasn't going to be the issue, they sent the crews over. That's through our existing agreement, so that's the speed at which we can respond. That's how we went quickly from 200 to 300 to 600 in a matter of a little bit of over a day, and now we're up to 900 resources with those existing contracts we already had, and now we're ramping up, continually scaling into the days until we can get to that acceleration moment and see that speed.
And as for speed, I mean, the customers do want more speed. I know safety is your priority. You keep telling us that. But is there something that could be done differently or more efficiently next time? Because there's some bitter cold out there right now.
Yeah, customers' safety from in the cold, we are definitely aware of, and making sure that partnership with Metro, that there's access to the cold shelters and that we are doing our part to partner. Getting that speed is something that we are working on, but I want to be careful to reiterate the safety. We don't want anybody to hear this and work unsafely, so safety has to be first. The other side of this, we want to make sure we end with a very safe record, so that's key. The speed that we are moving through is the speed to scale to be able to do this right in our territory and get to the level of restoration that really gets us what is needed. We are not going to rest until we do meet the response that is expected.
Is it possible if a similar storm comes through, a similar forecast comes through, that you could have more crews lined up and prepared and ready?
So we'll be evaluating after action and make sure, anything that can be learned from this for sure. In this, we were all preparing leading up to this storm to make sure we had all available resources here. We now still have 500,000 customers across the country out because of this storm. So not just regionally, but the east part of the United States was preparing for this by holding on to crews.
And what do you think the longest timeline is at this point, this Wednesday morning update you're giving?
Yeah, so we are still evaluating the length of which this is going to go. We've been talking about into the weekend. We'll provide more updates as we see progress today. We'll be getting more specific into the neighborhoods and what all that might look like. So we'll work on that as the day progresses.
Appreciate that, sir. Hey, thank you.
Thank you.